So, the first official look at Samsung's upcoming tri-fold smartphone, which might be called the Galaxy G Fold, has been revealed. And what's crazy is, the leak didn't come from some random leaker or blurry spy shot. Nope. This time, it came straight from Samsung themselves. And that tells me one thing: they're confident in this design, and they want to get people talking about it before it even officially launches. Hey everyone, welcome back to ZaidiEsTech. I am your host Zahid, and today we're going deep into one of the most exciting developments in foldable technology we've seen in years. Now, we all just watched Samsung unveil the Galaxy Fold 7, the Flip 7, and the Watch 8 at their recent Unpacked event. It was a solid event, the kind of thing we've come to expect from Samsung. But it turns out, that was just the appetizer. The main course, or maybe the dessert, is still on the way. And this Galaxy G Fold, if the leaks are anything to go by, could be one of the most ambitious devices Samsung has ever made. Now let me set the scene for you. The story starts with Android Authority. They were digging through the new One UI 8 software and stumbled upon some animations that were never meant to be seen by the public. And inside those animations? A complete visual of the Galaxy G Fold. And when I say complete, I mean you can see exactly how this thing folds, how it opens, where the buttons are, and even which side you should close first. At first glance, the Galaxy G Fold looks like a stretched version of the Fold 7. Imagine taking a Fold 7, adding another panel to the side, and then folding it up like some sort of high-tech origami project. That's pretty much the idea here. On the back, you've got three distinct panels. The leftmost panel is where the triple camera setup lives, and this camera island looks almost identical to the one on the Fold 7, vertically stacked lenses, clean layout, no wild experiments here. The middle panel holds the cover display, which is your main screen when the phone is folded shut. And the rightmost panel? Well, it's just blank. No camera, no display, nothing fancy. Its only job is to fold inwards and create that tri-fold action. But the real magic isn't just in how it looks, it's in how it folds. Samsung's animation in One UI 8 is actually a warning message for users. They're telling you not to fold the camera panel first. And if you're wondering why that matters, here's the reason: the hinges on this device aren't symmetrical. If you try to fold it in the wrong order, starting from the right side first, it won't fold flat. Worse, you could actually damage the display. So Samsung is building in a little safety net. If you start folding it the wrong way, the phone will vibrate to let you know, hey, you're doing it wrong. The correct folding order is left side first, then right side. That's how the panels overlap properly. And that's how you get that flat, compact closed position without damaging anything. The animation also gives us a peek at the frame design. Just like the Fold 7, you'll find a volume rocker and a power button with a built-in fingerprint scanner on the side. That's good news for people who like quick, reliable unlocking without relying solely on face recognition. And yes, when you open it up, you'll see that the inner display has a punch-hole camera. It's not the under-display camera that some of us were hoping for. Now, I know a few people online have already said, Samsung should just get rid of the inner selfie camera altogether. There's already one on the cover display. But honestly, I think there's still a solid use case for it. Think about video calls in flex mode. If you're in a meeting or chatting with friends, you can prop the device halfway open and still have that front-facing camera looking right at you without needing to hold the phone in your hand. Officially, Samsung hasn't confirmed the name yet. Inside the company, it's apparently referred to as Multifold 7, which could be a code name, or even the final product name, we just don't know. But the nickname, G Fold, makes a lot of sense when you actually see how it folds. Instead of folding in an S shape like Huawei's Tri-Fold, Samsung's design folds more like the letter G. This isn't just a cosmetic difference, it's actually a more practical design choice. Because when the G Fold is closed, all the displays are on the inside, fully protected. Compare that to Huawei's approach, where one display is left exposed to the outside world. That's just asking for scratches, scuffs, or worse if you drop it. Samsung clearly learned from the early foldable days with the original Galaxy Fold, and they're applying that same inward folding philosophy here. Now, that doesn't mean it's perfect. One downside to Samsung's approach is that you can't really use the G Fold in a partially folded state like Huawei's Tri-Fold. With Huawei's design, you can unfold just one part of the device and use it in a kind of hybrid mode. The G Fold is more binary. It's either fully open or fully closed. That might be a deal breaker for some people who love those intermediate modes for multitasking. And here's another little technical detail. Technically speaking, this isn't even a true tri-fold in the strictest sense. It only folds twice. But because there are 3 segments, the name has kind of stuck, and honestly, at this point, I don't think anyone's going to stop calling it that. When it comes to specs, this animation doesn't tell us much, but other leaks have filled in a few blanks. Reportedly, the G Fold will borrow the Fold 7's camera setup, so that's a 200-megapixel main sensor, an ultra-wide lens, and a 3x telephoto lens. Industry analyst Ross Young says the outer display will measure 6.5 inches, and when you unfold it, you'll get a massive 10-inch tablet experience. That's big enough to comfortably replace a small tablet for most tasks, from watching movies to sketching on a stylus. A report from South Korea adds that the battery will be smaller than Huawei's 5600 mAh unit, though the exact size isn't confirmed. And yes, the G Fold will definitely be thicker and heavier than a standard foldable. But let's put that into perspective. Huawei's Tri-Fold weighs 298 grams and measures 12 millimeters thick. That's actually pretty reasonable for a device with so many moving parts. If Samsung can land in that same ballpark, it's going to be impressive. And now we get to the part that will either make people cheer or groan, the price. No official numbers yet, but I think we can safely expect something north of $2,500. This is a first-generation product. It's going to be expensive to make, it's going to be released in limited markets, and Samsung's going to price it as a premium, almost luxury-tier device. As for the launch date, Korean media is saying that Samsung might give us a teaser at the same event as the Fold 7. If I had to make a guess, they'll do a quick "one more thing" moment, maybe even let some influencers and journalists try out a prototype. But the full commercial launch? That's likely going to happen later in the year, probably in Q4. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Samsung completely skipped mentioning the G Fold at the Unpacked event. Not a single word about it. And then, a few days later, they started talking about it publicly. That's not an accident. This is classic Samsung marketing: build hype without actually committing to too much detail, keep the curiosity alive, and then drop the big reveal when people least expect it. In an interview with Korea Times, Samsung's CEO confirmed that yes, a Tri-Fold smartphone is coming this year. And yes, it's going to be launched in the fourth quarter. He even admitted that the name isn't finalized yet, which explains why we keep hearing different possibilities. More importantly, he said they're focusing heavily on fine-tuning the product and the user experience. That's code for "we have the hardware ready, but we're making sure the software and day-to-day usability are polished before we ship it." Another unnamed Samsung executive told Android Authority that the Tri-Fold has been ready for some time. They have working prototypes. They've tested them internally. The big question isn't whether they can make it, it's whether people actually want it enough to justify the production and marketing push. And that's a fair point. The concept is exciting. People love to see something new. But when you're talking about a nearly $3,000 price tag, excitement alone doesn't guarantee sales. The real test will be convincing people that this device can replace both their phone and their tablet, making that high price feel worth it. And that, my friends, is everything we know so far about the Samsung Galaxy G Fold, or whatever name they end up calling it. A device that could very well redefine what we think of when we hear the word foldable. So now I'm curious. Would you personally spend $3,000 on a first-generation Tri-Fold smartphone? Or would you rather wait a year or two for the second generation, when the price comes down and the tech gets even better? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I really do read them all, and I love seeing your takes. If you enjoyed this deep dive and you want to keep up with all the latest in tech, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to ZaidiEsTech, and turn on notifications so you never miss one of my uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, take care.